Well, hello, welcome to today's workout. Today is going to be a multi-level workout. We're going to try and hit a little bit of everything so you can leave today's session feeling really good, worked out, and standing tall, ready to take on the day. So I want to grab a few props before we get started. So I'm going to be looking for our magic circle right here. In addition to the magic circle, we are going to be utilizing the small ball. And these are optional. So we have the white sticky mats right here, one for each hand, and these can be used for any wrist support that we might need as we come across our workout today. And then of course this cushion, and we have different sizes you can choose from. I choose a thicker one in the event that maybe I need some extra padding in my roll-ups or laying on my side or what have you. We have that available and easy to grab and to incorporate. So go ahead and take a moment and gather up all of these props and bring them to the side of your reformer, and we will talk about your spring setup. Okay. So we have our props and we've set them down by our reformer so they're easily accessible at any point during our workout. Now I want to double check that my carriage on my reformer is set up to my specifications. So I am 5'5" and a half on a good day. So I'm going to look first at where the spring bar is located, and this happens to be at the closest position to the foot bar, which is where I like to work out. So I'm going to load up our springs to 3 red and 1 green, so 4 springs total on the bottom row hooks. All right, so that is set up. My foot bar is in its center position. It is locked in, it is not going anywhere. And now I'm going to look towards the shoulder blocks and the strap length. So the strap length, I like to make sure I can hook it safely or securely around the shoulder blocks here. They look pretty even. I'll double check as I bring them into center. And they are even and ready to go. So go and hook those little puppies up onto the pegs that they live on. I like to work on a center position on my headrest. If you prefer flat, that is entirely optional for you. So let's go ahead and double check, pause now to double check that your carriage is set up to your specifications, and we can begin in just a moment. Let's go ahead and lie down onto your carriage. Finding that center line, just kind of peek up, make sure you're not too cockeyed over to one edge or the other. You're as centered as you can be here. Now I'm going to begin first in Pilates V. So my heels are connected and my knees are open just about hip distance apart. Take a moment to find your neutral pelvic alignment, your neutral spinal alignment, and then just draw those abs in towards center. Inhale to prepare and exhale to push. And returning with that control. And exhale to push and in. So we want to find an energetic pace here, something that's going to build your energy, not drain it. So we want to always stay in control. So it's not about speed necessarily, it's about controlling the movement with your carriage. So we never let that carriage hit against that bumper. And we always resist on the way in. So the springs are working you just as hard on the way in as when you push out. All right, so let's take it here 5 more times for 5, 4. Those abs are drawing in and up to stabilize your hips and lower back. And 2. We're going to stay out on 1. Separate your heels so you're parallel. Lower both heels down and push them back up. And lower down and up. And down and up. And 7. Good. Give a little squeeze to your booty. Squeeze those upper legs here so it's nice and tight. We don't really want to move too much through those knees here. And 6. And 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold number 1. Let's alternate. Drop one heel below the bar as you bend the other knee to raise the heel. Push evenly with both feet to return to center and switch, dropping into a good stretch. Again, most importantly, push evenly with both feet and switch. Let's take it up to pace. Drop, lift, drop, lift, drop, lift. Abs are toned, long neck, relaxed shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lower both heels down. Now, keeping your legs parallel with your feet flat, bend your knees to bring the carriage in nice and slow and controlled. Stiletto the heels to push away. Lower the heels to bend the knees and come in. Again, stiletto and push away. Lower the heels to come in. This is getting a really nice Achilles tendon stretch here. So enjoy that stretch on the way in. So I'll do 2 more. Last time. And you can park your carriage. Now I'm going to place my heels onto the foot bar, and they're going to go about sits bones distance apart, or about a fist space distance apart. You can go a little wider up to hip distance if that is more comfortable for you. What I mostly care about is that your legs are parallel and your feet are strong. So your toes are curling really strongly back towards your kneecaps here. They're not just hanging out on top of the foot bar, all floppy. Ugh, no. Pull it back. Now, find that neutral pelvic alignment. Pull those abs in. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you push out and in and out and in. Remember, speed is not the focus. It's about the control. Resist on the way in. Out. Resist on the way in. And 4. And 3, and 2, last 1. Here's the challenge. We're going to take it to single legs. If you are not up for single legs today, continue a second set with pushing off of both legs. So I'm going to begin with my left leg straightened out over that foot bar. Now, as I push away, I'm going to bring this leg to tabletop position here, and then extend it straight over again. So they're opposite positions the whole time. Let's go 5 times here and then 5 straight up afterwards for a challenge and a nice stretched hamstring. And let's begin. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Here's the challenge. Up to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold number 1. Strong leg against that foot bar. Take this top leg and trace a circle down, around, and up, stopping at that center 12 o'clock position. We're going to take 5 times each direction here, as big of a circle as we can go without wiggling or tilting the hips. Now, if you have any popping in your hips, just try a different rotation. You can try a deeper turnout or maybe go to internal rotation instead. So I've done my 5. I'm going to return or reverse the other direction. Down, around, and up. Exhale down, inhale up. Last one. And give me a big hug in on that leg when you're done. And return it to your bumper. Let's switch legs. On your left heel with a strong foot, starting with your right leg extended straight over this foot bar, we begin with our tabletop legs. Inhale to prepare, exhale, push out, shoot to tabletop, and extend it in. Let's go 5 times. And 5. Now our straight leg. Kick it up. 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And hold it out. Strong left leg here, stronger right leg. Let's begin those leg circles going across your body. We circle down, around, and up. Exhale. Inhale up. And 3. And up. And 2. And up. Last one. And hold. Change directions. Take it out. Inhale up. And 4. 3. Can you step into a straighter left leg? 2. Final time. Bend this knee in, give it a big hug on that hip, and return your carriage. Now we're going to be taking your heels out towards the corners of the foot bar. Grand plie, so your knees are open. I'm on my heels with very strong feet, those toes curled back to the kneecaps. Inhaling to prepare, exhale, dig your heels against that foot bar as you stretch the legs out. Inhale to return with control. 10 times, here we go. Exhale, 10. 9. Keep that going. and 4, 3, and 2. Last time. Park your carriage, our internal rotation. Keep those feet wide, but duck those knees in against each other. Toes turn into point towards each other as well, and push out. Your knees do separate here. They will touch as you come in. They will separate as you go out. Now, if you have any knee pain, you can shuffle your feet closer together on this foot bar for a safer experience. If this is not agreeing with your knees, eliminate this internal rotation and do a second set of turnout. All right, inhale to prepare, exhale to push out for 10, and 9, 8, keep going. And 3, and 2, last time. Park your carriage and bring your feet together on the bar. Help yourselves up to sitting. Ah, beautiful. So my legs are warmed up, my spine is warmed up. Let's go ahead and take it to some more ab work here. So I'm going to change my springs. I'm going to take the 3 red springs off. So now I'm left with a green spring, and I'm going to pop that green spring up onto the button. Now, this green spring is on the lighter side. So I find that if you tend to go a little bit too heavy with the springs, the work gets put into your shoulders and your neck, and you don't get the most benefit in the core where we're trying to target. So the 2 options, the lighter spring will be a green on a button. For a little bit heavier, you have a little more practice and experience behind you, you could probably do a red and a blue on the bottom row hooks. All right, so once you've made your decision, I'm actually going to be working with the ball between my knees. This is optional. You do not have to use this at all. You can just hold your legs in tabletop position here. Okay, lie down. Give yourselves enough room between your shoulders and these shoulder blocks. Place the ball between your knees and squeeze, so they're firing up those inner thighs again. Let's have you reach back. Grab a hold of these smaller inside loops here in your hands. And we're going to begin with some arm circles. So pressing into your arms, bring those legs into a tabletop position and squeeze gently with that ball. Inhale to prepare, exhale, press your hands straight down. Circle around towards a T and bring it right back up. Let's do that again in slow pace. Exhale down, inhale around, and back up. We can pick up the pace a little more here. And 4 more. 4, 3, and 2. Last time around, and then I change directions. Pause at the top. Now take it to a T. Scoop to the hips and right back up. How's that squeeze on the ball? Exhale 2. Inhale up. Around. Exhale 3. And up. Around. And 4. Up. This is my last time. Stay at the hips. Hold your hands tight in against those hips. Just your T presses. Take it out towards a T and exhale, pull back to the hips. 5 times. Here we go. 5 and in. And 4 and in. And 3. How are your neck and shoulders? Nice and relaxed. Last time, hold in at your hips. Pause here. Now keep your elbows tucked in tight as you bend for a tricep extension. And you're going to straighten your arms back down. Here we go, 10 times. Bend, extend, and 9, and squeeze, and 8. Keep your wrists nice and flat and on top of those straps every single step of the way here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Raise your hands all the way up until you can rest your feet down on the footbar for a small break here. Very good. So moving on, we're going to go into some abdominal curls. Basic abdominal curls, this series will be progressive. So that means we're going to start at one level and slowly get tougher and tougher as we go. I want you to decide where and what level you are most comfortable working at for the day. Do not feel obligated to take every option that I throw out there, but try it at least one time and then make your decision. All right. Let's go ahead and bring those legs into a tabletop position with your arms straight in line over the shoulders with tension on the straps. Legs are up, abs are in. Now, as you press your hands down by your hips, you're going to float your head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale to curl forward. My knees are still bent in tabletop position. And then inhale yourselves back. Again, exhale, big curl, only the upper body, resisting the back. Very good. Let's do one more time here. And exhale, hold number one. Now I'm going to extend my legs straight up to that ceiling. And then as I come back, I fold them to tabletop position. Big curl up and in. Now, with these straight legs, I can start to lower them towards the floor at a lower angle. You'll notice the lower you go, the harder it is for your abs. Now keep going here. You just want to pay attention that we don't let that lower back arch up off the mat just because our legs are low. And that's not going to do you any good for your abs in the long run. So again, you pay attention. How low can you go with your legs? And keep stability in that lower back. 5 more times here. Exhale, 5. Give me one more. And you can rest those feet. Lovely work. Now I'm going to be placing the ball between my feet. If you do not have the ball, you just squeeze your heels together in a frog stance here. Either one. You just need the knees to be apart so that when we twist our crunches, your hands have somewhere to go. So from here, keeping your legs in this tabletop or a frog stance, we're going to twist your curls starting to your left. Right hand goes between your knees. Now notice my left hand is tight by the side. It doesn't wander out here. Always keep tension on those straps. Resist it back to center. Go to the other side. Big curl and resist it back. Let's go 10 times here. Exhale, 10. Exhale, 9. You get the idea. Keep going. Four and 3, 2 and 1. Bring it back. Rest your feet on the bar. Beautiful job. Take a small break right here. Here we go. Help yourselves up to sitting. And we are going to prepare ourselves for our feet in straps, but take a little water break, rest it out, and we're going to change your springs to 1 red and 1 blue on the bottom row hooks. So 1 red, 1 blue on the hooks. Take your green spring away, so it's just those 2 springs here. We're gonna get ready for your feet in straps. So let's go ahead and lie down onto your back side here. Your shoulders just in front of the shoulder blocks. Now you're going to reach behind you on those pegs and grab those larger straps. So from here, you're going to step out and put 1 foot at a time into these larger straps. All right, now from here, let's begin by extending your legs up to the ceiling until you can feel a pretty good tension on these ropes. So you're gonna pull back as you get a little bit more of a stretch, but make sure you don't let your butt lift up into the air. Try to keep that tail down as best as you can. So when you are ready and satisfied with your stretching here, go ahead and let your hands rest at your sides. Go to a small external rotation in your legs and begin to press down to those springs. Now when you've reached your lowest position, you should feel those abs really toning in and up, and the ropes should not be touching your thighs. You're going to split your legs around and up to the highest point that you can and still keep your behind down on the mat. And again, one more time at the slow pace here, you're gonna circle around and up. Now we're gonna take it to your pace. Remember, always with that nice control, and you're only moving in a range of motion that you can sustain a stable pelvis and lower back. So it might be a little smaller than what you want it to be, but don't worry, with practice, it gets bigger as you get more flexibility and mobility. Good. I have 5 more circles here. We're going down for 5, around and up. Lengthen your neck and shoulders. 4. Exhale down. 3. And 2. And one more time around to finish. Your feet meet at the top. Let's change your directions. Split at the top. Exhale, down and up. 10 times total, which we have 8 more times. Exhale to lower. Remember, the lower you draw your legs, the tighter you have to cinch those abs in towards the spine. 4 and 3 and 2. Last time, I'm going to stay at the bottom. So I'm in my lowest position. I'm still in a turnout. I'm going to take it out to your splits. So as you open your legs out to your splits, you might find you might be more comfortable if you raise your feet slightly. So that if you watch the pattern or the shape that your feet are tracing, it looks more like a long V rather than a straight line to the floor, right? Unless you have those dancer hips that can do that comfortably in that angle, go for it. But otherwise, find that position where you feel the best stretch and the best mobility in your hips, where you don't feel like you're getting jammed. Let's take it here for 5. Inhale to open. Exhale, abs tight. 4, 3, and 2. Last time, let's have you hold your legs back together. Now we're going to be folding one leg into a frog while the other leg opens out to the side. Now both straps are evenly weighted here and my hips haven't shifted around. Press back to your center and switch your directions. Again, you have tension even on both straps and no movement in your torso. Let's take it 10 times at your pace. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 8 more times. We go 8, 7, and 6. Keep it up. Final 2. Final 1. Draw your heels together. Now let's do swimming frog. So it's both legs at the same time. Bend to your frog. Stop at about a 90-degree angle in the thighs to start. Open your legs back to your straddle stretch, and then exhale. Engage your glutes, inner thighs to draw those legs back together. And again, you're bending to your frog, so your knees are outside of your ropes. Open to your splits and exhale together. Let's take 5 more at your pace. Inhale, abs are tight as you open. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, 2. Exhale. And 3. Stretch. Exhale. And 4. Stretch and exhale. And 5. Last time, hold your legs here at the low position. We change directions. Change it out to your stretch. From here, fold to your frog, connecting your heels strong. Push from your glutes to extend those legs out. One more time at the slower pace. Open. You fold to your frog, connecting your heels and push out. Let's take 5 more at your pace. Inhale to open. Exhale to push. Inhale to open. Exhale to push. 3 more times. Last time here. And exhale and hold your legs out straight. Now, we are going to be moving on to your short spine. If you are not ready for your short spine series, go ahead and pause here and we can fast forward to the next sequence. If you are joining me on short spine, make sure that your headrest underneath your head is flat, completely flat, so that we have no chance of rolling onto your neck. I like to give myself a little bit of wiggle room between shoulders and blocks, then I'm ready to go. So I'm going to place my hands at my sides, raise my legs all the way up until I'm able to feel a pretty good stretch in the back of those legs here. Now I'm going to be pressing strongly into my hands. I'm going to start to hover my bottom off of the mat. Now as I continue to lift my hips off of the mat, I'm going to let my legs get carried over my head. So you always keep tension on those straps and control over the move at all times. So inhale to prepare, exhale right all the way up across those shoulder blades, never the neck. The carriage may or may not close. You'll bend your knees starting about halfway down, so keep some space. Keep those heels connected and roll slowly down. Lengthen that spine and push out through those legs. Let's do that again. Raise those legs until you can feel a stretch in the back of them. Abs tight to curl the spine up. You bring your legs overhead with that control, coming all the way to those shoulder blades, bending those knees. Maybe you can tuck in a little tighter. Maintain this shape and roll it down slow and controlled, keeping the abs in charge of the exercise. And once your tail touches, you straighten your legs. One more time at your pace. And begin to roll it down. Belly's pulling tight away from your thighs, lengthening your neck and shoulders as you melt down through your spine, and you're going to push it out. Now, let's try changing the order up. We're going to reverse the choreography. So we are going to begin by bending your knees into your frog stance. Leave a lot of room between your thighs and this belly here. So same move with bent knees. So you're going to press into your arms, tighten the belly, roll yourself up until your knees are parallel to the floor and you're staring straight at them. From here, you straighten your legs, keeping tension on those straps. Begin to lower your hips down, 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 until you can feel a good stretch right here. Now, this is where it changes up. You're going to give me a leg circle. So split those feet apart and finish that roll down through connecting your legs strong at the bottom. Let's repeat. Bend into frog. Roll up and over your head. Once you're there across those shoulders, extend your legs. Keep tension on the straps and melt it down. Slow and controlled. Relaxing your neck and then splitting those feet apart for the big circle. Let's take 3 times at your own pace. Bending the knees. Control those legs up and down. Two more times. This is our final time. Finish this repetition out. See just how low you can push that stretch. Can you give me one more vertebra down onto that mat before circling those legs? Beautiful. Let's take one foot out of the strap. You're going to hold the strap with your hand and lay this leg down on top of the foot bar, or if you need some support, you can brace a little bit of weight on that foot bar with that free leg. But now I'm going to be stretching my strapped in leg here. So stretch number 1 is just straight back. So I get a good clean hamstring stretch here. Let's hold for 3 to 5 breaths. And this breath work is nice and easy. We're trying to relax our body. And I'm going to take my leg out to the side to get a nice inner thigh stretch here. Now notice I counter with my free leg. I let that knee fall out to the side so that I don't twist in my hips and lower back. Give me 3 nice relaxed breaths here. Now take an inhale and exhale. You're going to pull this leg up across your body and you're going to get your IT band. So I like to use my hand to give a little extra pull. I'm going to create a little bit of traction by using my right hand, or same hand to thigh that you're stretching, and pressing down on top of the thigh towards the foot bar. So I'm creating some space in my hip socket. Not much, just a gentle press. And then I hold 3 breaths. One final inhale, and exhale, bring your leg back up to start position. Very nice. Let's switch your legs. So replace your other leg into its larger strap. Take this leg out and either lay it flat across the top of the foot bar, or you can brace slightly with a little body weight here. Raising that other leg all the way up until you feel that stretch in the hamstring. Make sure your butt is still on the carriage and your spine is as long as you can make it. Give me 3 easy breaths. On your next exhale, open to the left, getting your inner thigh stretched out. If you need to counter with your free leg, do so to make sure your hips are still maintained on the carriage. And 3 breaths here. One more inhale and exhale. Let's have you pull up and across the body. Now you can use optional, use your hand to kind of tug back on the rope, and optional traction on top of the thigh. Mind your knee. If you feel anything funny in the knee, eliminate both of those steps. And give me 3 breaths once you're in stretch. Take one more inhale and exhale, come on out. Bring this foot out of the strap, guide the carriage all the way home, and hook these straps up onto your pegs. Go ahead and help yourself up to sitting. And we are going to prepare for our long box series. First things first, I am going to take a look at this foot bar, and I need to lay it down all the way flat. So I'm going to kick those locks out of place. I'm going to pull back on both bars so I can fold them inside of each other and lay it down flat. Now I'm also going to be working on the lighter option spring, which is a blue spring pulled up onto a button. So 1 blue spring only, pulled up onto the button, nothing else attached. If you are pretty familiar with this series and you know you can push it a little bit more safely, your option of spring will be 1 red spring on the hook instead of the blue spring on the button. So make your decision there, and remember, you can always change springs if you need to. So now that is said, I'm going to come and grab our long box. You're going to lay it lengthwise on your carriage like so. Lie down onto your belly so you're looking down at your headrest and your feet are hanging out over the foot bar. I like to go up so the chest is over the box and my legs are hanging out free behind me. I'm going to reach down, grab a hold of these straps. You want to grab them high above the hardware. Press those hip bones down into the box so I feel a little bit of a hover in my legs, and I tighten up on my lower belly. All right, now on your exhale, I'm grabbing strong with those straps. I'm going to pull your hands back to your hips, lifting until they're next to your thighs, and I'm taking flight. So I've lifted my ribs, and I'm going to lower all the way down. I'm going to do that again at a slower pace. So you're hooking under those armpits. You're floating your hands up, and you're lifting just your rib cage right here. Now the higher you lift your ribs, the more lower belly you have to give me so it does not go into your lower back. All right, so we're going to do 8 repetitions here at your pace. So you start with an inhale to prepare and an exhale to lift, and inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, and exhale 3 and down. Now make sure you do not throw your head back. Your eyes just kind of track along the floor and move as you lift your shoulders and ribs up and down. And 6. How are those abs? How are those legs? 7. I want to stay up on this last one. So stay lifted here. Elbows stay high and tight to your side. So pin those armpits in. We're going to go 10 tricep extensions. Here we go. Extended 10. And 9. And 8. Check your neck and shoulders. And 7. Good. Tighten up the belly. 6. Engage those glutes so you hover those legs. 5. And 4. And 3. Try to keep tension on the strap at all times. 2. Last one. Hold it strong and relax it all the way down. And you are welcome to a stretch. If you want to take a child's pose up on the box, you're welcome to do so here. Or you can also take a standing stretch on the floor, just folding over to touch your toes. Now take a big inhale here and be dramatic on this step. Exhale, roll back to your hips. roll up through your lower back, your ribs, your shoulders, and your head, so it's the last thing to come up. Kind of roll those shoulders out a little bit. Beautiful work. Let's go ahead and take a seat on the box facing your tower bars. All right, we're gonna start with your hands. I like to hold the shorter straps to begin with. So I'm just gonna close my hands around the strap. I just make a big old fist here. And we're gonna sit up tall, arms straight out in front of you. Now we're finding your neutral alignment here. So I like to arch and curl my spine so I get a sense of the forward angle, the rear angle, and then right between the two, and then just stack your posture up. Draw those abs in. We're gonna take your hands out to a T and hold, and bringing it back in. Again, out to a T and hold and in. So we're gonna continue going, maybe a little bit of a pace that suits you here, always keeping control over those springs. And you're giving me a broad wingspan. So the goal is not to pinch between the shoulder blades. Try to make your arms as broad as you can here. So we're gonna go 5 more. How are those abs? How's your posture? 4 and 3 and 2. One more time, and 1, and relax. Now we're gonna be taking your hands overhead, or you can thread your hands through the strap. So I'm still in my little straps, and now I have the strap sitting on the back of my hand, like so. That's how it is. But the thumb is loose, right? So it's sitting in the crook of the thumb. That just helps to prevent the strap from sliding up the arm as we go through the exercise. So we're going to sit now, this time with your wrists flexed. Your palms are facing straight out in front of you, like you're telling somebody to stop. So sit up tall, lift that posture. We're gonna alternate. One hand goes out to the side while the other goes to the ceiling for a nice L. So inhale to prepare, exhale. We lift, hold, bring it back through center. And switch sides. Lift, hold, and bring it back through. Let's continue to alternate side to side. Lifting and center, and lifting and center. We want to make sure that you don't turn your shoulders to the outside arm, which is a really common habit people fall into. This is not rotation. This is keeping your core tight, your posture lifted, and your shoulders doing the work. Give me one more set, one more time each way. And you can rest when you're done. I'm going to keep one strap, set the other strap down onto my peg. I'm going to extend my hand straight in front, bicep curls. So you keep your elbow in place while you bend and bringing your hand up to your shoulder, resisting it out. And again, bend. Remember, half of the exercise is the way out right there. So give me that resistance. We're going to go 10 times here. Keep those shoulders squared off for 10. 9. Now, if your neck is getting a little tired, you can also lower your elbow into your body at a lower position here, right? We want to just make sure we can keep the work in the bicep, not up here in the neck. Let's go 5 more. 5. How's the core? How are you holding your rib cage? Make sure you're not flaring it open. 3 and 2 and 1. Set this strap down, and let's have you change over to the other side. Holding that little loop in hand, finding an angle that works best for you, squaring those shoulders off, we can begin our 10 count here. Exhale in and resisting it on the way out. That's half the exercise. 2, keeping control. And 3, and out. And 4. Core is tight, shoulders relaxed. And 8, and 9, and 10. Lovely. Go ahead and set your strap down onto your peg. All right, so we're gonna stay on the long box and we're gonna be turning our work around towards the front now. We're working both shoulders into the front and our posture as well. So reach down and change your springs. I'm gonna work a blue on a button again to match what I did to the back of my shoulders. You also have the option to work harder at the red spring pulled up on the hook, the bottom row hook. So again, your 2 options are a red spring on the hook for the heavier option, blue spring on button for lighter. Once you have set up, let's go ahead and have a seat facing your foot bars end, and this one you will be straddling your box with your legs. Just try to keep your feet kicked out from underneath you. Don't tuck them in like that because that's going to throw your hips forward. So feet out, now you're going to reach down and grab a hold of your straps. All right, so we are going to begin in the shorter straps, in our shorter straps to start out. A quick way to make a spring adjustment if you find the spring is too heavy is just to slip into your larger straps and work at that longer strap. So that's a very easy way without having to disrupt too much flow in your sequence. So let's begin with your hands down at your sides, soft bend to the elbows so they're not locked out here, and find your posture. So you're stacked on top of those sits bones, you lift your chest without flaring those ribs open, and let's exhale to pull your hands up, parallel to the floor. They don't need to go any higher. And then bringing them down, stopping at about the hip line. Exhale up, stopping parallel to the floor, keeping that chest open, and down you go. Let's go 8 times at pace. Inhale to prepare, exhale up for 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. 4. And 3, and 2. We're going to stay up on this last one. Hold it up parallel to the floor. Now we're going to bend your elbows in so your forearms are parallel to the floor. Pretend you're holding a plate in your hand and you're serving your plate out and bending it in, serving it out 2. Exhale 3. Keep that chest open, shoulders down the back for 4. How are your ribs? Make sure they're not flaring out. And make sure you didn't roll your hips forward and arch the back. Keep the belly tight. And 6, and 7, and hold number 8. Here we go. It's our hug a tree. So rotate those elbows out. Palms are now facing in towards the chest. We're going to open your arms wide and exhale, hug it out for 8. Exhale 7. Lots of abs here. And 6. Lots of pecs, lots of front of the shoulder, all those muscles. 5. And 4. Mind your posture. Keep it strong against this tension. And 2. Last one to finish. Whoo, and bring your hands down. Excellent. When you are finished, you can go ahead and hook your straps up onto the pegs. And I think we'll be moving on to our short box series now. Okay, so our short box series here, I have switched the box from a long box to a short box. Now I have my box covering the shoulder blocks, but not the pegs right here. And I have tossed my straps down into the well so they are out of the way. Now the springs, I'm gonna add every single spring that I have on back onto the bottom row of hooks. So all 5 of your springs are going to go onto your hooks. And I'm going to grab a hold of this little black strap that is hanging out underneath this spring bar. So if you just work your way up, let it rest on top of the spring bar for a second while we grab some props here. And also lastly, our foot bar is down totally flat out of the way. Can't forget about that. So the props that I'm going to work with here, we are going to work with our small ball, if you have it, and our magic circle. Again, you can always do this entire series without any props and still get an amazing, fabulous workout here. But I like toys, so let's have fun with them. Have a seat up on the box, and you're going to be tucking your feet underneath your strap. Right? You're going to tuck both feet underneath there and just double check that there are no kinks in the hardware or in the strap itself, because the last thing you want is you hanging out back here and an adjustment to happen in the strap. It happens, it's scary sometimes. So take your ball, place it between your thighs so you have a nice, good engagement with those inner thighs. Now, you want about a hand's width minimum between your behind and the back edge of this box, just for safety, so we don't fall off the back edge of the box. And that may pull your feet away from that standing foot bar. That's okay, it does not matter. So starting out, sitting tall, with your holding your circle in hand, you're going to squeeze the ball and sit up tall. Now you're going to round your spine at that C-curved spine again, and you're going to begin to roll yourself back, back, back as far as you're comfortable going, and you're going to round yourself forward. You keep it low, and you have the option to continue to go over your legs for a nice stretch. Just keep that belly drawn in nice and tight, and sit up nice and tall for your next repetition. Here we go. Big squeeze. Sit up tall with your inhale. Exhale. Round your spine. Round your upper back as well. And begin to roll. Exhale. Round your shoulders forward. Roll through that lower back. And step into your optional stretch forward. And stack it up nice and tall. Let's go 5 more at your pace. Inhale to prep. Exhale. And round it forward. And up, and 4. Round it forward, squeezing on that ball, and up. Now, if you're feeling your lower back when you begin to roll back over the well, it just means you've gone a little bit too low, and you need to stop shorter on your next repetition. Easy fix. Now we have 2 more times. Rolling back, keeping the work in the inner thighs and the lower belly. And up. 1 more time here. Round it back. You're going to stay back here where you feel most in those abs and inner thighs. Now when you are at that halfway-ish point, raise the hands with the exhale. Lower the hands with the inhale. Exhale, raise and lower. 8 more times. 8. And 4, 3, 2, hold number 1, hold it, twist your shoulders to the right, twist your shoulders to the left, and again to the right, and again to the left. 1 more set, to the right, to the left, center, hold, round your spine more, and then roll it all the way up over those legs. Enjoy a nice lower back stretch here. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Now this one I like to scoot back so there is more tension on my feet to begin with, and we're going to go into some hinges. So we're going to begin with your hands back out in front of you, and we lift that spine, and we are going to hinge back instead of roll. So we're going to internally lift up out of that pelvis, taking it back here, and then exhale as you lift yourself right back up. Let's take that 5 more times. And 5, and grow taller as you come up. And 4, and lift. And 3, and lift, growing taller. And 2, 1 more time. And 1. And you can rest with that there. Lovely job. We're going to lose our props, so you can set them off to the side here. And we're going to be turning sideways now. So this one, you are going to prop this leg up onto the box, and I like to lean a little bit further towards the back edge so that my foot has caught that strap. It's pretty strong underneath this strap here to begin with, and I want to try and keep it that way the whole time. So you're going to be working your side booty quite a bit, your glute med. So you're going to reach down and begin with your bottom hand, your supporting hand on that kickstand here. We're going to find our length. So we're going to start with 1 hand at the T, abs are in, chin is up, chest is up, abs are tight, and hover. Now we're going to reach down to touch the floor, up to touch the sky. Down to the floor, up to the sky. Now level 2, bottom hand behind your head. Down and up. Down and up. Level 3, both hands back. We have 6 more times. Down and up. And 5, whatever position you want to put your hands is fine. Just stay here in those obliques. And 3, and 2, and 1. Drop into a stretch over your well. Ooh, walk your hands out as long as you can physically reach them here, and reach through your foot. Now, this is optional. This is the next level. We're going to add a rotation forward. Now, if rotation is not in your repertoire for today, that's fine. Just do a second set staying linear, going down and up. But we all start the same regardless. So you're going to start with your hand on the headrest to support, start with this top hand straight, lift off, taking this hand behind your head. We dip it down. Now you turn your shoulders towards your top leg, looking down your foot. Do not twist your hips open. All right, here we go. Let's go 10 times. Inhale, down. Exhale, twist. And down. And twist. And remember, you can make it harder by taking your hand behind your head. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last time. Big stretch. Stretch it over, walk it out, and breathe. Whew. Those are still my favorite. Go ahead and help yourself up. We have our other side. So you know that levels with your hands, either hands T, straight, or all the way back. You can take your pick, but we're going to do 10 of each version, or 2 sets of 10 of the first version if you eliminated the rotation. So turning over, propping the leg up on the box, and coming down. All right, so I'm leaning far over the open well here. I'm going to begin by raising my top hand up and finding my posture. Raise your chin and chest, hover. Now we're going to take your bottom hand behind your head, dip it down, and lift 10. No rotation on this one. 9, look at the wall straight in front of you. 8, and 7. Remember, both hands behind your ears is the hardest position. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's all take a small break. You can twist, walk your hands along the frame here. Enjoy that nice stretch. Not too long of a break though. I don't want you to melt. Let's go ahead and start setting yourselves back up again. Facing back off, starting position. Your top hand is straight. Open up that posture. Bottom hand behind your head. Dip it and add the optional twist. Straighten out to go down. Optional twist 2. Now you can play with your hand placement. 3, 4. Exhale 5. Try not to swing your hips open as best as you can help that. 7, 8, 9. Last time. 10. And twist and stretch it all the way out. Reach into it. Take another breath here in through the nose and exhale out. You're going to help yourself up to sitting here. Hi. That is going to end the short box series. I hope you feel very strong in these obliques. I know I do. So now we're going to be moving on to my favorite portion. This is the more advanced portion of our repertoire, and it does demand a lot of time on our wrists. So as we're setting up and organizing our props, if you know you need some padding for your sore or tender wrists, I want you to grab some cushions, these little white rug runners, sticky mat things. Grab them and you can fold them up, and that makes a massive, massive difference. So please don't be afraid to use these if you have cranky, ornery wrists. All right, let's go ahead and set the box back where you found it, and we'll meet at the reformer. Okay, so we're back here at the reformer. Now setting up your carriage. We're going to get rid of this little black strap that has lifted up. Just set it down. Let's begin our springs at 1 red and 1 blue spring. It doesn't matter which red you choose. They're all going to pull the same carriage. So just 1 red, 1 blue spring, and they're on the bottom row hook. Now our foot bar is going to raise up. Let's place it in the center position and make sure that is locked. It's not going anywhere. All right, so we are going to be starting out on our knees, facing your foot bar. Now again, if you need any padding for your wrists, this is where these would go. They would go on the foot bar, spaced about shoulder distance apart. And if you need any padding for knees, I know my knee is sometimes a little cranky, you can take 1 or 2 of these cushions if you have them, and you'll just kneel on that knee. Right there, just like that. You kind of pad it up so the kneecap is just barely hanging over towards that front edge as an option as well. Okay? So those are feel free to choose any or all of those options. Now to begin, your feet are going to be pressing against these shoulder blocks very strong. The stronger you connect your foot here against the block, the better the connection is in the back of the legs. So your hands are on the foot bar. You're going to sit back in those hips, not down on the heels, but you're lifted and strong in your spine. So my belly button, if it were to drop off and fall into the mat, it would land right in between the knees here. So roll those shoulders out and plug them into that shoulder girdle. Engage those glutes as you extend your legs all the way back to a straight extension and bend it in. 1 and out in 2. 0 movement in my torso. And 4 and 5 and 6. 2 more times. 7 and 8, but hold the legs out now. So push them out. My hips are low. Now I'm going to pull forward from my arms. So I'm going to go forward and lift my chest up to a baby back extension. Press away with those arms. Try not to break your line. And you're going to pull yourself forward. 2 and out and up. 3. Now, if you want this a little more challenging, you have the option to change your springs lighter. So I'm going to go to a green, pulled up onto the button, and I'm taking away the red and the blue. So again, the lighter option will be a green pulled on the button compared to the heavier red and blue combination. And we're going to try that exact same combo again if you changed your springs, straight legs, pulling forward with the upper body and pressing it away. And now you can probably feel that difference, right? The lighter spring tends to be a little more core eccentric, obvious, if you will, where the heavier springs really tends to go more into your limbs. So you need to find that Goldilocks springs where it's just right for both. All right, and up, and you can sit yourself back for a small break. So that was our series from the knees. You always have the option to return back and do a second set from your knees if you're not ready to do this with the legs off. So with the legs off, I'm going to start out the exact same, sitting back on my heels, back in my hips, and then I'm just gonna hover my knees. I stretch it out and in. You can readjust your footing if it's uncomfortable on your toes. Out and in. And 8 and in. Get your full extension here. 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. Abs are tight, strong shoulders. 3 and 2. You're going to hold one out. Straight legs. Pull forward with those arms and push it away. Take it as far as you're comfortable going out. And pull it forward and push away. You have 6 more times. And 6 and away. And 5 and away. Forward 4. Keep your head level. Try not to sink into your shoulders. Tighten the belly. Keep your heels connected to those shoulder blocks. 2 and forward. 1 more time. Out and in. Now stay right here. Here is a challenge. I want some push-ups. Bend your elbows to the ribs and push up. 4, 3, 2, 1. And go and roll up and through to your hips. You allow the carriage to close. So my hips are lined up straight over my heels. My hands are strong on the shoulder blocks. I try not to sink down into my wrists too much because that just creates a little bit of pain, especially over time. So now it's going to be my legs. Abs are tight. You push away with those legs, lowering the hips. Go as far as you're comfortable and pike it back up. And again, exhale out. 2. Those shoulders don't move. They are strong, they are steady and connected into the shoulder girdle, the ribs. Okay, exhale. 5 and up. 3 more times. And 3 and up. And 2 and up. Last one and up. Now from here, I want you to roll up and over your shoulders once again as you allow those legs to press out. Our final 4 push-ups. Here we go. Bend your elbows in. 4, 3, 2, whew, and 1. Roll yourself back, park your carriage, take a small step forward, shake those wrists out. Hips. Let's finish today with a mermaid stretch. So right here, I am going to change my spring. I'm going to go to 1 red spring on the hook and take away my green. So I only have 1 red spring on the bottom row hook attached. And this, the mermaid here, we're going to do 3 repetitions of each pose. So we begin with your your hand that's closest to the foot bar on the foot bar, but just in front of that shoulder line. Press yourself away. Now lift up out of that pelvis, side bend over. We're trying our best to keep this left hip anchored down so it doesn't look like this. It's not a lean, it's a side bend. Now use your obliques to come right back up. And again, let's have you press it out, up and over. Open those ribs. And we bring it back up. And just moving at the pace of your breath, up and over. We'll stay over. Now we're going to twist to place both hands onto this foot bar. And you're going to turn. I open up my stance, so my hands are really wide on this foot bar here. And you're going to lay it out. Press as strong as you can through your shoulders. Your back hip will now lift up off the carriage. Now tighten up the belly off the thigh. You're going to press down on that foot bar to raise up into a beautiful swan dive here. See if you can close that carriage. And let's press it away again. 2 more times. Moving at the pace of your breath. And 1 more time for me. And all the way up. I'm going to stay up and with the carriage closed. I'm going to return to your starting position here. I'm going to counter stretch. I'm going to lay my hand down on the headrest and counter stretch over my internally rotated hip. And just hold 3 breaths or so. And then when you're ready, you're going to twist, grabbing both shoulder blocks if possible. If not, grab your knee and your thigh, wherever you can comfortably grab. But just use your arms to assist a little bit of a twist here and see if you can maintain once you're there. All right, try to lift and come back to center. All right, we are going to be turning around to your other side. So your mermaid legs towards the shoulder blocks. And we're placing your hand onto that foot bar. And we're going to begin by pressing away first and side bending up and over here. And then growing tall as you come back up 3 times at the pace of your breath. And on this one, I'm going to turn towards the foot bar. Open up my stance. And I'm going to lay it all the way out for Superman, stretching high into my shoulders, keeping my belly tone tight. Press down on that foot bar to close the carriage, lifting into a baby swan dive here. And let's take 2 more times. And exhaling as you come up into the swan dive. And 1 more time, inhaling out. And exhaling as you come up. You're going to stay up. Make sure that carriage is closed. Reset to center position. Take your hand down onto the headrest. We're going to counter stretch up and over this leg. And just holding for about 3 breaths. And then you're going to twist, grabbing your shoulder blocks, just wringing your spine out like you would a wet rag. And see if you can maintain without holding on. And then you gently return to center. Well, let's go ahead and reach down and just reset your springs to 3 red springs here. And just be very proud of yourself. You just finished out a nice multi-level workout. And go forth into the day with a newfound length and sense of center. Good job. We'll see you next time.